invite you to, if you're comfortable doing so, to bring your hands over your heart. You don't have to, it's an invitation. But as we prepare to be a sanctuary, your hands resting over your heart may help you center in to that deep place within. And as we center in, you can close your eyes again if that feels comfortable and safe. Or just let your gaze soften, looking just a little bit in front of you. And begin to notice your breath, the sanctuary of your breath in and out. The breath we don't have to think about, but that we can bring our attention to notice our rhythm, the breath of the source of life in us and as us, giving and receiving in each breath. And then sensing your body, all of the places where your body is touching what you're sitting on, or where your feet are touching the ground. Noticing how your breath vibrates in your body, how the gentle sound of Roger's guitar echoes and vibrates in your body. And bring to mind a sanctuary place in your life, some place where you feel safe and secure, cozy, a refuge. That might just be your favorite chair in a room of your own house. Maybe it's a special place in nature. A mountain stream, an ocean shore. Maybe it's simply sitting beside the sanctuary of a beloved friend, or a beloved four-legged friend whose unconditional love offers sanctuary to you. And grounded now in the holy imagination of your mind's eye, your heart's eye, in a place or with a person that helps you to feel the safety of sanctuary. Bring your attention now to your own beautiful, tender heart. Maybe you can feel the beating of your heart. But sense that deep, deep space within. That space that is home. that deep awareness where you know you are an unrepeatable spark of the divine. That your whole being flows in the river of divine love. And that the only question ever posed to you from that space within is, will you love me? Will you be the love I long to express as you? And so in the sanctuary of this time, in the sanctuary of this community, of hearts you may know well and hearts that you are just meeting for the first time, breathe in that truth that you are love. And then gently open your eyes. And open your hands as you look around this space and feel the sanctuary that we are. I wouldn't say that the word Lord triggers me, but I did ask for the word to be changed to please, because I just feel then we are invited in to whatever that please is directed to in us. So thanks, Raj.
You made me do it.
I did. Okay, my assignment has not changed either. Oh my goodness. So our assignment has not changed. I was reminded of that phrase one Tuesday, mid-November. And as I have been, as I said earlier in the welcome, doing my own journey in what pulls me away from hearing what my own assignment is. And as I was sitting with this as a title for the talk this week, I sort of had to laugh at myself, at the former teacher in me, because I pictured all of those seventh graders, those high schoolers, who looked at me sometimes when I gave very fuzzy directions. They'd be like, quizzical look, the blank stare, like, okay, there I go. Fuzzy directions. It's so clear in my mind. Our assignment has not changed. So thank you to all of those students who, over many years of teaching, helped me to back up, take a deep breath, and try again. We actually have pretty clear directions about what our assignment is. Love God, life, source, spirit, whatever that please brings us to, the voice of God within, spirit within, our true self, our highest calling. Love that source with our whole mind, our whole heart, our whole soul, and our strength. Love our neighbors as ourselves, which also means we have to love ourselves. Love your enemies. Practice forgiveness 70 times 7 times. Feed the hungry, clothe the naked, comfort those who mourn. Whatsoever you do to the least of these, you do to me. Our assignment has not changed. We're done here. Paul Farini writes in The Keys to the Kingdom, a book that a number of us are reading together. There are still more copies in the library if you want one. But he writes, beneath the surface of life, there is a spring that runs deep. There is a capacity for love that each of us has that is completely awesome and miraculous. The great ones like Jesus and Buddha have shown it to us. The same spring that nurtured them runs in our hearts. You and I are here to love. It is our purpose and our destiny. Our assignment has not changed. He continues, love begins and ends in our own consciousness. Boy, that word, right? What is that even? Our consciousness. What does that even mean? Talk about fuzzy directions. Wait a minute. Brigid, you just told us it was going to be really clear and easy. Direct, love one another. Where does that begin in us? I would say that it begins in our whole mind and heart and strength and soul. Farini writes, it flows through us to others and back again. Remember this? Try that with me. Our love flows from us back out and back to us again. The infinity loop. If we do not offer love to ourselves, we cannot give it to others. You cannot be disconnected from love, yet you can be completely unaware of the love that lives inside you. You are part of the great flow of life that transcends your ego consciousness and connects you to all that is. Have any of you ever felt completely unaware of the love that you are? Maybe once or maybe not. There'll be a separate, conversation afterwards for all of you who have never felt completely unaware of the love that you are. If your mind has never spun out like a yo-yo and then whipped back again into the whirling dervish of thought, I want to talk to you afterwards because I need some more training. How did that feel when we slowed down in meditation? Whether your hands were open to receive or on your heart, how did that feel to slow down even for a few moments? To connect to that river. The river of love, the river of life, the river of source that flows through us, that flows as us, in the safety of that sanctuary here. We are called to let every word from our mouths, every small or large action of love, come from that place. That is almost always where I get a little hung up. When I let my mind take over, it has a lot to say about what I should do. when I connect my mind with my heart, then I'm directed in a different way. I might do the same thing, but I show up as love in a different way, a softer way maybe, but not always soft. Maybe it's a stronger, more grounded way. But it's not the action that I'm relying on for that chatterbox, the mini-me in my mind that is constantly talking at me, telling me what I should do. Tapping in, going deeper, spending time in quiet. Sometimes in my own practice of that daily quiet, that's sometimes all I can hear is the chatter of my mind. On those days, it helps me to pop myself out the door and maybe take a walk so that my body and my mind settle into a different rhythm and I can hear this differently, my heart. That to me has been a reaffirming awareness of what Lent can be. As I said weeks ago on that first Sunday, Lent has not, over the years, meant that much to me since my childhood of giving up chocolate and hopefully giving up fighting with my brothers. There is so much around us right now. There is so much around me. Everything that is out there in the bigger world picture right now, in our country right now, but not only in our country, that easily spins me into what should I do? What can I do? And I'm spun either into overthinking or I'm spun into despair that there's nothing I can do. Neither of those feels really good to me. Our personal practices, our spiritual transformation on the inside is absolutely important. It's vital. Our own practices that help us live from that deep well of love, vitally important. But then we are called to walk our talk. How I am called doesn't have to be how you are called. But we are called to please be a sanctuary. So how are you doing in this assignment to love? How has that return to that sense of your wholeness, to that life beneath the chaos, that then helps us look around us at the chaos and say, here's what I am called to do. Here's how I am called to bring comfort. Here's how I am called to ease suffering. Here is how I am called to be presence for those who have no one at this moment to speak for them. How can we be more aware of how we're caring for our inner spirit so that we then are feeding the world in ways that are small and tender, and in ways that ask us to show up, sometimes through our fears, through our anger, through our despair, looking always within to how am I a clean vessel of love so that I am a healthy cell of love in the world. Thich Nhat Hanh played a central role in the Buddhist movement for peace in Vietnam. In 1969, he wrote, "The essence of nonviolence is love. Out of love and the willingness to act selflessly, strategies, tactics, and techniques for nonviolent struggle arise naturally. Nonviolence is not a dogma. It is a process. Other struggles may be fueled by greed, hatred, fear, or ignorance, but a nonviolent one cannot use such blind sources of energy, for they will destroy those involved and also the struggle itself. Nonviolent action born of the awareness of suffering and nurtured by love is the most effective way to confront adversity." At one point, he tells the story of people who brought their family altars, the most sacred objects in their homes, onto the streets, relying on their culture and tradition to oppose the forces of destruction. Some people were critical, saying they used religion for political purposes. But Thich Nhat Hanh did not agree. He reminds us that they were using their most potent spiritual force to directly confront the violence. This was not a political act. It was an act of love. I have been contemplating for myself the meaning of the words protest, resistance, and presence. How do we turn what is seemingly a political act into an act of love? What wisdom can I find in these words that may lead to actions if I bring them first into that sanctuary, that river of love? There's some 12-step wisdom that says what we resist persists. There is a lot going on around everywhere that I would really like to not see persist. And so what am I called to? I keep coming back to the word presence as part of my resistance, as part of my protest, as part of being love in action. Yesterday, there were protests all over our country. People raising their voices for ideals that in some ways our country has never quite lived up to. Just like our ideals in our own families, in our relationships, we just don't always live up to them. Forgiveness, 70 times 7. I felt compelled to be present. Not everybody has to be compelled by the same things, but I felt compelled through my prayer, through the voices of my beloved friends, my family, my parents who felt compelled. So a number of us met here at church yesterday to go and be present, to pray first. We had to divvy up the 6 octogenarian peace warriors that I had with me so that we could get down there in a couple different cars. My dear friend, who's an 88-year nun, brought her 97-year-old companion who lives with her in community, a 97-year-old nun. What makes that an act of love instead of an act of politics? And do we need to separate those out? We can talk about that because I don't know the specific answer. I don't know the specific answer for each of us. I just know where I was called this week. But I was called to be presence, to join in my beloved community, to be presence together, because beloved is where we begin. Beloved is where we begin. Peace is where we begin. Presence is where we begin. Sanctuary is where we begin. We are not all called the same way to show up. We just are all called to show up. I am not here to tell you how you should vote. I am not here to tell you how you should be in the world of 2025. But I am here to say to me, and so then to say to each of us, love first. Being grounded first in our assignment that really is clear. Love God, that source that goes by many names and that is ultimately unnameable. Love each other, the ones who are easy to love and the ones that we find it very challenging to love. Because each of those people that we find challenging to love is also a beloved. Beloved is where we begin. It's so simple. It's just not easy. And so, my beloveds, we nourish each other. We see each other's wholeness, and we see each other's light, and we see each other's fumbling, flailing ways of falling down. And we lift each other up. Beloved is where we begin. And I close with this prayer poem by Jan Richardson with that title. If you would enter into the wilderness, do not begin without a blessing. Do not leave without hearing who you are, beloved, named by the one who has traveled this path before you. Do not go without letting it echo in your ears. And if you find it is hard to let it into your heart, do not despair. That is what this journey is for. I cannot promise this blessing will free you from danger, from fear, from hunger or thirst, from the scorching sun or the fall of the night. But I can tell you that on this path there will be help. I can tell you that on this path there will be rest. I can tell you that you will know the strange graces that come to our aid only on a road such as this, that fly to meet us bearing comfort and strength, that come alongside us for no other cause than to lean themselves toward our ear, and with their curious insistence, whisper our name, beloved, beloved. beloved, beloved, beloved. And so it is.